Evening, everyone. Welcome to Deborah's Quiet Corner. Thank you for coming in, stopping by. If you stop by, can you please leave a comment and let me know that you stopped by? If you just glanced by or you just ran by, just leave me a comment and let me know that you stopped by for a few minutes to Deborah's Quiet Corner. As I stated before, I started Deborah's Quiet Corner over 2 years ago. I started on my Facebook page, just general conversation about various things that we contend with in life, the things that we deal with, the things that we go through, the things that we don't discuss because we're just so busy with life. Sometimes we just don't have the time to just break away and think about a lot of different things. And we push a lot of things to the back burner because life is so demanding. Like, oh my goodness, especially with this pandemic going on and everything that we're seeing happening and just unfolding in front of us. It's just like so much. It's kind of hard to just like tune it out and pretend like it's not happening because it's happening. Like we live in this stuff every day, and we get so busy that we don't really get a chance to just like pull away and just think, and just kind of like bring it down a couple notches. Just like just breathe a little bit. We all tensed up. We moving here, we there. We got this to do. We got that to do, and we just like all over the place. And even with the pandemic, like they lifted that for a few minutes, where everybody could kind of like go back to some type of normalcy. And look what happened. Everybody got busy. People weren't following the guidelines. Now we back where back to restrictions. The hospitals are filling up again. The numbers are going up again because of busyness. Like we so used to being busy, we're not used to having no restrictions. We're not used to nobody telling us what we can and cannot do with our time. We feel like it's our time. Nobody's going to tell us what we can do with it. So we just stay busy, 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 busy. And then now we have a setback. I knew that was going to happen. Not that I know everything. Please, I am not here because I know everything. But common sense would tell you if the doctor kept saying that was with Trump, don't rush back into that. We should have listened. It was too soon. He kept saying it's too soon. I just think it's too soon. And we was just cooped up for so long, 3 months. Like everybody's ready to like break out. Like whatever. I'll take my chances. I'm going out. I don't care what they talking about. This is what it is. I'm tired of being cooped up. So a lot of people kind of trying to move forward. But anyway, we just need to pull back sometime, and we just need to breathe breathe and just not be so busy. And this is what Deborah's Quiet Corner was pretty much set up for, so we could just pull away from the busyness of life. It's not that I'm on here, I know it all. Oh, look at her, she just thinks she just knows everything. No, I don't. I will admit that in a heartbeat. I do not know everything, and a lot of things I don't know. So you come on in with me. Come on, we can learn together. Tell me some stuff. Teach me something. I can learn. I need to learn. Tell me something that I need to learn, and we can just kind of like go back and forth and learn. I haven't did a live yet. I'm working on that. I haven't gotten that bold yet where I'm going to just go on here and start doing what I'm doing. With the tapings, you can kind of like monitor what's going on. But when you go live, it's like, boom, you in there. So I know eventually I would want to do that because I would want to like converse back and forth. If you come through, I would like to be able to answer a question, call your name out, recognize that you came through, say your name or something like that. Just try to be on a, keep it friendly. So I would appreciate it if you stop through and visit my Deborah's Quiet Corner and just, hear what I got to say. I mean, if you can't use it, don't use it. If you can use it. Just like anything. You can't use everything, so you just don't use it. But what you can use, you use. So that's pretty much what I'm putting out there. What you can use, what I give, use it. If you can't use what I'm giving, then you can lose it. You don't have to use it. That's basically what I'm saying. So I think the topic I'm going to talk about tonight is procrastination. Procrastination. Procrastination is delaying something that needs to be done or postponing it. Something that's really important. Something that needs your immediate attention. And it's always in the back of your mind that you need to get it done. But you're saying to yourself, I'll get it done. But the time is not now. I'm going to get that done. I'm going to go, and buy that new whatever. I'm going to start my diet tomorrow. I'm going to, just do things on a different level starting tomorrow. This is my new goal. We always make New Year's resolutions, and then the new year comes around and we get so busy we don't have time to like even follow through with that, and we procrastinate and say, I'm gonna get to it. I know what I said I was gonna do at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get that done. But then you never get to it because procrastination. I procrastinate. I don't know too many people that don't procrastinate, and especially if it's something you don't want to do, you're gonna find a way to procrastinate not to get it done. You're gonna say, I don't need to do that now. I'll get to that when I get to it, and it just keeps being put back further and further and further and further. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight on Deborah's Quiet Corner. Procrastination. Delaying or postponing something that is so important that needs to get done. That it's like so in the back of your mind that you can't even push it out. Because every time you look up, it's visiting you again. And you know that you need to address that issue. So procrastination is postponing or pushing something back that needs to be done. And there are, like, I think a lot of things that we shouldn't procrastinate on, but I think like the top notch one is your health. Don't procrastinate with your health. Your health is everything, and you need to like give that attention. And I used to like try to tell my husband, like, we gotta stay on top of this, that, and the third. Men are working and they trying to provide for their families, and they don't like the doctors anyway. They don't like sitting up in no doctor's office. They don't like medication. They don't like none of that. So you kind of like have to like push them to even go get seen by a doctor. Most men, now all men are not like that. So I'm not saying all men are like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying most men don't like doctors, dentists, none of that. They just don't want to have nothing to do with it, especially our black African American husbands and spouses. They don't want to take that time out and do the medical stuff. But it's important. And when you procrastinate, it's like an automobile. If you neglect your oil change in the spark plugs, and you go in for the you go in to get your car checked, and they put it on this little thing and it reads out what needs to get done, and then they give you the reading. They don't make you do it. They be like, this is what you need to get done, and if you don't get it done, this is what's going to be the outcome. You procrastinate, and it might take a little couple months before what they said is going to happen with the car to happen, but then eventually you're dealing with it and you're back there again, and you're paying even more because now that first problem caused a second, third, fourth, so it's like a domino effect. So now you're paying out all this extra money because when they told you needed to get it done, you procrastinated. Maybe you didn't have the money, that's fine. If you didn't have the money to do it and you couldn't do it at that time, that's fine. But if you had the money to do it and you just procrastinated and you just kept putting it off because that was something that you wanted to do, then that's a whole different story. So now that's the same thing with your health. If your body starts giving you signals and constant signals, and our bodies are like amazing, like the way God created our bodies, because they will give us off signals when something's not right. And sometimes it's not so clear of maybe what's going on, and we'll kind of like just push it to the back burner, and we'll be like, oh, let me see how I feel tomorrow and see if I still have these same symptoms tomorrow. And then you get up the next day and you still have the symptoms, and they've increased it a little bit. And then with us being so busy, not so much now with jobs and stuff, like we'd be like, well, I'll go to work and see how I feel, and if I feel okay, if I go to work and I don't feel good, I'll just leave work and I'll come home and I'll go see and get seen and see what's going on. And then you might go to work and then you might not have anything going on at that time, but then you get up that next morning, them symptoms are back, and then you're looking like, oh, okay, I just only got 3 more days to the work week, and then at the end of the week, if this ain't better, I'll go and get looked at. But by the time you do that, it is just so much. Like, I had a floater in my eye one time, and it looked like I was driving my car, and out of my left eye, it looked like some birds were flying over the top of my head. And I never heard of a floater. I didn't even know what a floater was. It's when like a blood vessel busts in the back of the eye, and the blood just it moves around inside of the eye, and it's so tiny, like you can't really even see it. So I'm driving to the store, and I see these look like these birds were flying out of out of the side of my eye, and I'm like, what in the world is that? So I go home. I told my husband, I said, something's wrong with my eye. I knew immediately. This is what I'm talking about in procrastination. I knew immediately if something had changed. I knew something was different. But instead of me, you know, going immediately when that change happened, that dramatic change in my eye, I said, well, I was working at the time. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna see how I feel. I'm gonna see if this is still like, you know. And then I would cover my eye up and I would take my hand down. I was like, something's not right. So I kept telling my husband, something's not right with my eye. This was years ago. Something's not right with my eye. Long story short, I kept procrastinating. So I had to wind up going to an eye specialist and retina specialist because they was afraid that the retina of my eye was going to detach. They didn't know how severe it was because I procrastinated to come in them, and they asked me, why didn't you come as soon as this happened? Because I was so busy going to work, and I had the symptoms, and I felt like if it wasn't that bad the next day, I'll get it taken care of when I get it taken care of. But it wound up costing me in the long run because those they don't go away. Like there's no treatment they can give you for a floater in your eye. You just live with that, and after a while, you don't even recognize it no more. I don't even. Once in a while, I'll see it, but most of the time, I don't recognize that it's even there anymore. But my thing is the procrastination. You cannot procrastinate with your health. If you start having any kind of pains or unusual, things that's going on with your body that's not normally happening, go get it checked out. I mean, what can it hurt? If it's nothing, it's nothing. If it is something, you don't want to procrastinate until you go in, then you got all of this other stuff going on. And, if you had to looked at it like when you went to the car dealership about your car and he told you needed those spark plugs or, your oil needed to be changed or whatever, and, maybe a wire needed to be changed and you ignored it, then you're calling your auto club because you got to get towed now because you didn't take care of that. You procrastinated until the very last minute to take care of it. So that is kind of like, the way that coin goes. Your health, I'm using the car because we take care of our cars take care of us. We take care of our bodies will take care of us. I guess that's the point I'm trying to bring with that. Um, Another thing we don't want to procrastinate with is our bills and responsibilities. I know everybody is going through. Everything closed down for 3 months or more, and everything still is not open. And then the unemployment, numbers went up so high, and everybody was in there trying to get everything filed at the same time. Too, it was such an overload that the system wound up shutting down. So that's out of everybody's control. So we got a little stimulus check that helped. I'm not gonna lie, it helped. That little stimulus check helped. You know, to keep things going, but you can't just ignore and procrastinate with those type of things like your bills and your responsibilities. What you have to do is you have to humble yourself down enough and go to your creditors or your mortgage company or your landlord, your light bill company, or whoever it is that you owe, and you sit down and you be nice and you have some manners and you be respectful and tell them, look, I'm going through something right now. I'm having a crisis. This pandemic has set everybody back. What would you be satisfied with me being able to pay you every month? Can we compromise? Now, they may tell you one number, and then you like, you know what, that's a little too high. Is there another number we can possibly work with? Can you please work with me? As soon as I get up and running, I guarantee you we will get back onto the regular schedule. They will work with you. Your creditors will work along with you. Your credit card company bills will work along with you. Your mortgage companies will work along with you. Um, your landlord, if you have a landlord, they'll work along with you. But you can't procrastinate, and then the bill comes in for the credit card that you enjoy spending, and now you're going to just procrastinate and sit it over there and say, you know what, I'm not even opening that up, looking at that. I know I owe that, but I'll get to that when I get to that. But yet you went and bought this, that, and the third, and you knew that that credit card was billed. And then when you'll tell them, I'm not paying that. I'm just not paying that this month. when you could have applied something to it. $10, $15. If you do that, they're not gonna come after you. They're not gonna come trying to take your head off. But if you just act like you ain't gonna do nothing, then that's when the heat gets hot. So that you don't want to procrastinate with your bills and your responsibilities. You want to make sure that you do what you can do. And even if you can't meet all of your obligations, give them something. If you give them something, they can't come after you because they're going to say he or she has good faith. They're making an effort to do something. They're making an effort to give us something. So don't procrastinate with that. Don't take the bill and throw it in the corner. It's still going to be what it is. It ain't going to change the amount or none of it. It's going to be that bill when you open it up. It's going to be that same collector. It's going to be that same interest. It's going to be that same old, same old. And that's just a part of life. Nobody gets a free pass. An adult, we don't get a free pass on that. So don't neglect your health. Don't neglect your bills. I procrastinated this morning. Now I know my oldest daughter had an appointment, and